Yep. Well, we're just going to continue on with the story. Oh no, where'd it go? Aha. Hello everybody, welcome to Storytime with Faze. Today we are continuing Promises to Keep. Should be part 4. Yep, part 4. I am sorry guys, I don't know what happened, but apparently I have violated some kind of user agreement rule with the new TikTok user agreements. Though I have submitted requests to TikTok repeatedly, they still have not given me reasoning or information as to which violation I have violated. But at the end of the day, I'm on a 30-day ban from streaming to TikTok for Storytime with Faze. So you'll have to bear with me. We're going to have to just do it here. I am sorry about that inconvenience, but we are going to continue the story. So yeah. Let's get started. Ooh. Ollie or Artemis? Ooh, this is a really predicament that we left off on. Who... Is there anybody right now in the chat? Is anybody watching? Which one should we go with? Should we go with Artemis or should we go with Ollie? Who should we spend our time with? Anybody? Yeah. Nobody? Alright. Going once. Going twice. And I'm just gonna make a decision. I mean, I feel like I should spend time with Ollie, but I feel like if I do that, it's gonna cause romantic tension. I guess Ollie. Oh, where'd the sound go? I decided I'm due to spend some time with Ollie, and as I enter the living room, I run into him. He's standing in the middle of the room, lost in his phone, not quite blocking the path, but not out of the way either. Must be really absorbed in something. Hey! I try my best not to startle him, but fail anyway. Oh, sorry. Totally in your way here. Let me move. No, you're good. I wanted to talk to you, actually. What are you up to? Oh, nothing really. Just scrolling. I know what you mean. Yeah. Hey, do you have any plans for tonight? Ollie fiddles with his phone, spinning it between his claws so fast I'm afraid he'll drop it. Oh, no. That was sort of what I was thinking about. Oh, Do you want to show me your desktop setup, like we were talking about earlier? The dino flushes a little, his eyes wandering the room. The twirling phone starts to spin faster.
Well, yes, I do, but there was a lot of things to do. I got a little sidetracked.
Oh, okay, that's fine. We'll do that tomorrow or whenever. No pressure. Ollie makes eye contact then. He stops spinning his phone and, like clockwork, begins to shuffle his feet.
Oh, I still have my laptop, though. We could watch something.
My
One of my favorite YouTube channels always updates today. I was going to watch the new episode, so if you're interested, then...
The words spill out of his mouth in a jumble, almost as if he is afraid he won't get them all out in time. Sure, that sounds fun. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and a thought occurs to me. As long as you don't mind if I answer some messages during. Now that news has spread about the storm, I should probably let people know that I'm okay. Unless all those notifications were just from Ralphie and Hunter blowing up the group chat.
No, that's totally fine. I always do other stuff while I'm watching, too. So it's just kind of on the background a bit. But I promise it's funny. I really like the hosts.
Lead the way then.
Oh, right. Sorry.
He leads me up the stairs and down the left path to his room, hesitating for a moment at the door.
Sorry again about the mess.
Ollie opens the door and heads in first, kicking aside discarded clothes on his way to the bed. I follow, getting a closer look at the room now that he's had more time to set it up. The guest bed is in significant disarray, with most of its expanse taken up by the largest laptop I have ever seen. I can see the famous desktop sitting under a nearby table with 3 expansive, and no doubt expensive, monitors crowding the surface. A thicket of different colored cables cover the remaining space, their disconnected ends gathered in a pile on the floor. That tracks. Ollie would have bad cable management.
Finish setting it up tomorrow and can see it then, but, is it cool if we use my laptop for tonight?
Yeah, of course. I don't mind.
Okay, thanks.
Ollie scoots the computer over long enough to sit down and opens it up.
You should be able to see from here.
He pats the empty space next to him with a claw, excitement plain in his demeanor. I plop myself down. Onto the comfortable bed and slide up to the headboard so I can see the screen. My eyes widen involuntarily at the sight. My computer desktop can get a little cluttered, but always looks like a 52 pickup game at the scene of a car crash. He doesn't even seem to notice it, however. His practiced claws pick needles out of the haystack, and in seconds the video is open, and the theme is playing.
Hey, do you mind if I open some other windows too? Normally I'd have 3 monitors to work with, but...
He gestures to the tech pile on the nearby desk. Fine with me. I watch with growing awe as he arranges two other browser windows, with their own muted videos playing, what looks like a turn-based RPG, which he leaves running in the background, and finally fishes his phone out of his pocket to boot up some sort of card game. Suddenly, I feel very old and very slow.
Is the volume high enough for you?
What? I realize I haven't been paying attention to the video at all. From its spot in the top right corner of the screen, it looks like someone is drawing something. Some kind of art show? Yes, it's fine. So, what's the prompt?
Didn't you hear the intro?
My eyes drift back over the RPG as it plays itself. Bright characters with shining weapons dashing across the screen to slay enemies.
No, actually, sorry.
Ollie laughs, a high-pitched, sparkling sound, worlds different from his usual muted voice. He turns to me with a huge, toothy smile.
That's okay. I'll start it over.
I'm not sure how much that will help. There's so much going on that it's really hard for me to focus on anything, but I nod anyway. It felt nice to make Ollie laugh. I realize, nice to see him start to open up like this, even if I have to work to keep up with him. I guess I could ask him to explain some of the stuff. He might enjoy talking about it. Do you mind telling me more about this YouTube channel?
Sure. They're professional artists and they take prompts from viewers to draw certain things. And the kinds of prompts they take vary widely, too. Like this week, they're drawing characters based on different kinds of flowers. But last week, they did a more serious art challenge where they picked one color and tried to make paintings using only shades of that color. I learned a ton about color theory and different kinds of values, and the final pieces were all really cool.
Sounds hard. I've done a bit of drawing over the years, but I never got very good at it. Are you an artist?
Oh no, God no, definitely not. I can't draw to save my life. I mean, I think it might be cool, but...
He drops his gaze back down to his phone again.
Nah, I just don't think I'd be good at it. And it's probably too late to start now.
Alright, sorry about that. Too late?
Anyway, I mostly like their banter. I love listening to good friends shoot the shit, you know?
Totally. My favorite podcasts are just buddies sitting at a table and talking. He nods enthusiastically, now engrossed in his phone game. What you playing?
Oh, it's a deck builder, roguelike. I like it because it kind of strips the genre down to its basics, so the games are comparatively quick. And I love the art style too. They hire a ton of really different, talented artists to design them, so every card choice you make feels really impactful and important.
Cool. How do you play?
Well, first you pick your starting cards. You only get 12, and you can't double up, so you really gotta think about your strategy ahead of time. Once you do that, then you venture into the first level of the dungeon, which is always the same layout. It starts to get randomized after the second.
I am very quickly realizing how open and verbose Ollie can be when he talks about something he loves. Part of me wants to interrupt him with questions, but I don't want him to clam up again. What's up, Eric? Welcome, Eric. It really is sweet how passionate he is.
So you fight using a randomly drawn hand of 6 cards. Obviously, each card does different things, but only has a certain number of uses. And when those are up, then you lose it for the rest of the run. But whenever you finish a fight, you get a choice of 3 random booster packs, each of which have 3 cards to put into your slide deck. Now, the side deck is obviously very important because it's the only way you can keep your most powerful cards in your hand for when you need them. Similar to the main deck, for each fight, you are dealt.
He stops mid-sentence, seemingly realizing how quickly he's been talking.
Sorry, you didn't need to hear all that. If you're interested, you could just play the tutorial. It'll do a much better job of explaining than I did.
You're fine, Ollie. I think I actually caught most of that. Well, maybe half of it. Here, give me the title and I'll download it later, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
By the way, just wanted to make sure you're okay with me calling you Ollie, right? Ollie's face creases with worry again.
I mean, yeah. You know, like I said, it's different if it's you.
He turns red.
Because you're my age, and I mean, you're obviously not going to judge me. I don't know, I feel that feeling about you. But Theo, I don't know, he just seems so much older and more mature. It just makes me anxious. Like I said earlier, it's a childish nickname, so...
Looking at his dejected face, I decide to push back gently. And like I said earlier, I think it's cute, and not childish at all. His blush turns up to 11.
Yeah, it's just saying that. And anyways, well, it's kind of the issue. Look, it's really not a big deal. Like I said, I don't mind if you call me that. Let's just talk about something else, please.
Sure, totally. Oh, Ollie has a crush on Theo. I think. That's my theory. I'll have to ask him about that again later. For now, it's time to change the subject. So, what's this game? I point at the RPG.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. It has a daily reward mechanic, so I've just got it running on auto battle so I can get my dailies. My problem is that I like all the characters, so I want to keep them all high level. but I keep running out of XP items.
Oh, it's one of those games? What are they called again?
Gotcha.
He flushes slightly and fiddles with the trackpad.
I know they're like a scam, basically, built to trick kids into microtransactions, etc., etc. But this one's really well designed. It has like war and peace levels of lore. And you don't need to pay real money to get everything. It just takes longer. And I actually like that because I get to keep it going in the background if I'm bored.
Hey, no shade. I played Neo Critters for the longest time, so I've got no room to judge. Ollie's disdain is so immediate and so earnest that I can't help but laugh. His blush deepens.
Sorry, I tried to control myself, but Neo Critters?
That just means we both have bad taste. I can live with that. He smiles once again, showing off his assortment of incisors.
Me too.
My phone buzzes and I suddenly remember my unread messages. I should probably answer those now. I don't want people to start getting worried about me. I begin sifting through the questions and well wishes. Family, college friends, one or two older coworkers. A surprising number of people had reached out. The news of the snowstorm must have made it to some major news stations. I really had expected it to just be Rolfie and Hunter. I mean, of course it was them to some extent. Our group chat was starting to look like a gift warehouse, but... A warm feeling begins to spread through my core. Sometimes you forget how people out there care about you.
Who are you talking to? If you don't mind me asking.
Just letting folks know that I'm alright, and that I found somewhere to stay. I was just thinking how nice it is they messaged me. Reminds me that I do have friends, even if they don't live here.
Yes, it's nice, isn't it?
He looks down and twiddles his thumbs for a moment. I've never in my life seen someone actually twiddle their thumbs. It suits him.
I met almost all my friends online, and they live all over the place, so... Except for Artemis, of course. I probably wouldn't be in this nice warm room if not for him.
What do you mean?
Well, this is embarrassing, but when Theo first came to my door, I didn't answer. I don't like opening the door to strangers. Whenever the doorbell rings unexpectedly, I just kind of freeze up. But Artemis knew I was still there, so he came back with Theo and knocked until I opened. He was pretty mad, especially once he realized how cold it had gotten in my apartment. I don't do very well with cold weather. I mean, I manage. I couldn't live here otherwise, but without power, I think I would have been in real trouble if he hadn't been there.
That reminds me, how did you two meet? I can't help but be curious. They seem like such unlikely friends.
Well, we met at college, actually. We both went to school in the area. I think it was junior or senior year. My roommate was out, so I had the dorm room to myself for the night. Around 3 in the morning, I heard someone banging on the door and shouting, so I went to get up and check, but I didn't see one in the peephole. Turns out Artemis was sitting up against the door, so when I opened it, he just kind of fell into the room.
Ollie shakes his head, smiling softly. His voice takes on a new tone, smoother, less nervous. He sounds like a completely different person.
He was so fucking smashed, he didn't even realize he was on the wrong floor. I explained to him and everything, but he wasn't really in any state to leave. So I sat him up in the chair and brought him some water, and we talked for hours. Well, I guess it was mostly him talking, but that was fine with me. I wanted to hear about him. He was surprisingly coherent. He told me about his music and tried to play me some, but he couldn't get his phone to work. He kept dropping it in his lap. We talked until the sun came up, and by then he was feeling okay enough to walk. So we went and got coffee. It was honestly a really magical night. Maybe more than for me than for him. When I talked to him about it later, he said he'd spent the rest of the day in bed with a nuclear hangover. He even draped a black blanket over the window to keep the light out. Ollie falls silent, then, lost in warm memories. I keep quiet too, not wanting to interrupt him. After a few moments, I speak up. That's a really nice story. It's kind of hard to believe though, based on how he looks. I mean, somehow I can't imagine him being that much of a party dude. Despite my best efforts, my voice breaks the spell. I probably shouldn't have told you all that. He doesn't really like it when I bring up that story. I think he's still embarrassed about it. Sorry, but can you just, forget I told you? If that's okay, I mean. Ollie folds back into his usual self as he speaks, his voice deflating along with him. I just find you easy to talk with. It's just kind of slipped out. Me? Easy to talk to? I mean, I guess I didn't interrupt him, but that's just common courtesy. Hey, it's okay. I understand. We never had this conversation. Thanks. Tiredness suddenly washes over me. It's been a very eventful day. After all, especially after all the cleaning and packing I did yesterday in preparation for the flight. I yawn real big, remembering at the last second to cover my open mouth with a paw. Tired? Maybe a little. You can go to bed if you want. It's been a long day. I'd feel bad ditching you, though. It's true, I would. I've really been enjoying just sitting with him. It's fine. I'm probably not long for this world either. Cold weather makes me sleepy. Okay, I think I will probably head to bed then. I say gratefully, maneuvering myself off the bed and standing up straight. Good night. Ollie chirps, waving a claw at me, the many windows of his laptop casting dancing lights across his face. Good night, Ollie. With some regret, I turn away and head out of the room. I remember Theo saying I'd be sleeping in the den. Through my sleepy haze, the small sitting room looks even cozier than it did before. I notice a pile of extra blankets in one of the chairs, alongside my travel bag. Guess Theo moved it for me. So far, he's been an excellent host. Gotta remember to thank him tomorrow. And maybe apologize again for asking about the photograph. Theo's face lingers in my mind as I start getting ready for bed. His tired eyes, his easygoing smile. It seems a little less convincing now I've caught a glimpse of what's behind it. I shut the doors, closing myself off from the rest of the house, and breathe a small sigh of relief. Everyone has been friendly and welcoming, but being so social has been exhausting, and I've had very little time to myself. I yawn once more and fish some pajamas out of my bag. At least I could sleep in tomorrow.
The air mattress is an air mattress, but it's not uncomfortable. Certainly better than my freezing bed back home. Regardless, my body doesn't seem to care. Sleep overwhelms me in an instant. I barely have time to realize I forgot to brush my teeth. Oh, though these woods are new and strange, this snowy path I know, for I have walked it miles and miles, with many more to go, with many more to go. Here the road forks. The left path is well trod, scarred by scores of travelers past. Their paw prints seem familiar. At its end lies a ramshackle house, spent, its windows shattered and gaping. Its walls give no comfort, its hearth no heat. The right path is pure, unspoiled, and unstained. It leads further into darkness, to where I cannot know. I shiver, though I feel no chill. What path shall I take, and what difference will it make? Callous and unheeding, my paws lead me to the right. They carry me, as always, ever onward through the night. I turn my head to glimpse once more the path I could not take, but my eyes are veiled by shadow and the swirl of downy flake. There was never a choice. There's no going back. I know this. I stop on the shore of a frozen lake. The path leads onward into its depths. I feel my knees bend and strike the hard earth, lightly cushioned by snow. In the icy crystal surface, I see myself, but myself does not see me. I reach out as if to cut my own face, shattering the mirror with 1,000 ethereal ripples. And suddenly I am falling. The water accepts me unconditionally, cold as the memory of winter. As I float near the surface, a shadow passes over me. I see my own face on the other side of the barrier. I look away, afraid to meet my own eyes. I feel a paw and it instinctually shrinks away, and I instinctually shrink away. Sink away. Down, down. Suddenly, I find myself swaddled in warmth. I blink my eyes open, startled by my unfamiliar surroundings. Ever so slowly, reality starts to coalesce around me. Just another dream. That's all it was. They've been getting worse. I begin to recollect the previous day. Theo, Rafi, Artemis, Ollie, and Hunter. I roll onto my back and place my paws behind my head, stretching slightly. For a few long moments, I sit in silence, listening to my heart beat steadily in my chest. I'm alive and safe, I think. What time is it? I paw around the den floor looking for my phone. 8. On a normal day off, I'd sleep in a bit longer, but the smell of breakfast wafting in from the kitchen makes my stomach growl. Probably Artemis, our resident chef. Then again, I don't think anyone else is going to be up this early. The image of a comfortable, curled up Rafi crosses my mind. Maybe I'll see him if I get up later. Alright, chat. What should I do? Should we get up? Or should we go back to sleep? This is up to you. Do we get up? Or do we go back to sleep? The choice is yours, peeps. Come on. Alright, vote is get up. Going once, going twice. Alright, we're gonna get up. Boom. This is hardly a normal day off. I'm awake, so I might as well go have some breakfast. Besides, I'm not eager to return to my dreams. I get a few good stretches in before, reluctantly, leaving my surprisingly comfortable air mattress. First things first, a shower. I unzip my luggage, grabbing a change of clothes and a few toiletries. I pause at the door and take a few slow breaths, bracing myself for the day ahead. Here we go. Social phase activate. I head into the living room first and see Theo settled comfortably in front of the fire, drinking coffee. Oh, Faith! Good morning. How did you sleep? Morning, Theo. I slept pretty well, actually. Thank you again for setting up the mattress for me. Glad to hear it. You're up earlier than I expected. Right on cue, I stifle a yawn with my paw. You can go back to bed if you want. I think most of the house is still asleep. No, I'm fine. I just need to shake off the morning sleepiness. Speaking of, who is awake right now? Well, I know Artemis threw together a breakfast spread in the kitchen. I think Hunter is with him, but everyone else is still in dreamland. If you're in the mood, you should join them for a bite. I'm not normally a breakfast guy, but Artemis made fresh scones that I couldn't refuse. That does sound nice, but I do want to freshen up first, if that's all right. Oh, of course. The bathroom is just around the corner. I put some fresh towels in there earlier this morning, so take your pick. He really was prepared for everything. Gotcha. Thanks again, Theo. We wave goodbye, and I make my way to the bathroom. After a refreshing shower, I return to the den, setting my dirty clothes aside and grabbing my phone. Making my way to the kitchen, I start to hear talking and laughing. Definitely Hunter's voice. Okay, but why take all the joy out of food? It's not that bad. I still eat what I want for like half the year. Seems like I walked in on some kind of discussion. Hey, good morning, you two. They both turned to face me. Morning, FaZe. Morning. Help yourself to some breakfast. We have fresh scones, pancakes, and a bunch of fruit. Awesome. I'll go ahead and make a plate. I'm sorry if I interrupted your conversation. No worries. I'm just trying to explain macros to old Artie here. He must have picked that nickname up from Rafi, but Artemis doesn't seem annoyed by it. Macros? Macronutrients, you know? Like the stuff you put in your body? He basically starves himself for half the year to look good. I do not! The point is, you keep track of what you eat so you stay well nourished while minimizing sugar and fat intake. And it's not just for my own benefit. I gotta keep it up to stay on the gymnastics team. Sounds awful to me. One of the greatest joys of cooking is trial and error. Imagine weighing every spoon of sugar and salt you put in a dish. So, Hunter, do you cook? Well, when I'm not feeling the dining hall food. He looks at Artemis a bit sheepishly. You're not wrong, though. I usually keep my meals simple so they're easy to log. Let me guess, chicken and rice 8 times a day. As I listen to their banter, I start to put together a plate of food for myself. A heart stack of pancakes with fruit, topped off with a homemade scone. I could get used to this. Well, it's easy to prepare, and chicken breast has a really good protein to fat ratio. Yeah. It's also the hardest part of the chicken to make tasty. No fat means little to no flavor. Well, Chef, do you have any suggestions to jazz up chicken breast? Well, if you're looking to give it some extra flavor and moisture, how about a glaze? I grab a seat and dig in. The pancakes are fluffy and perfectly sweet. I found a great red pepper paste at the store the other day that's sweet and spicy. I don't think it has a ton of sugar, and I've made some great glazes with it. Hunter pulls out his phone and starts typing. He shows us his search results. This one? We both lean forward. The image of the container has some language I can't read, but Artemis nods. Yeah, but that looks pretty expensive online. I could show you where I get it next time. I go... Artemis is cut off by a ding. The sound of Hunter's phone authorizing a purchase. Oh, oops. I figured I'd just order it now. Alright. Not to tell you what to do, but websites usually jack up the price if you only order 1 or 2. In the future, you should probably... Another ding from Hunter's phone. Oh, it's not that bad. I ordered a fresh package of chicken, too. Another single item order? Hunter shrugs it off. I just want to put orders in before I forget. I don't expect them to arrive anytime soon. He gestures to the windows. I can see the gears turning in Artemis's head as he tries to understand Hunter's nonchalance. His expression remains relatively neutral, though. Eventually, he shakes his head and turns to me. Either way, I'm glad to see some of you enjoying my food. He gives a snarky nod as I nibble at my scone. Light, buttery, and soft. I give him a thumbs up and continue eating. Hey, I had fruit. You had like 5 strawberries and a protein shake. I had to make up for yesterday. I had too much bread pudding. At that moment, Theo strides into the kitchen, all geared up to head outside. Oh, great. All the early birds are here. He makes eye contact with Artemis, then cringes slightly. No offense. None taken. I'm headed out to shovel the snow at the front. Then I'll check on a few other folks down the street. Hunter's eyes light up immediately. Want help shoveling? I need something to work off breakfast. Artemis is very pointedly silent. His face says it all. You're in luck. I have a second shovel you can use. Sweet! Let me get changed real quick. Hunter hops up from his seat, carefully placing his plate in the sink. Thanks again for breakfast, Artie. Yeah, thanks, Artemis. The J nods, directing his attention to his phone as Hunter jogs out of the kitchen. As always, please make yourself at home while we're out. We shouldn't be gone for long. Theo turns to leave the kitchen. Soon after, I hear Hunter come down the stairs to join him. The door opens, shuts, and then the house is quiet again. I finish the last bites of food as Artemis gets up from his seat. If he wants to work off breakfast, he has to actually eat it first. He has no calories to work off right now. There it is. Anyway, you can hand me your plate if you're finished. I'll clean up in a bit. Do you need any help? Nah. I promised Rafi a cooking lesson today, so I'll do all the cleaning after that. That sounds fun. What are you teaching him? Not sure. Whatever I can whip up from the stuff in the fridge. A set of paw steps echoes in the stairwell. Speak of the devil. Artie, good morning! Rafi calls out as he enters the kitchen. His eyes light up when he sees at the table. Oh, morning, FaZe! Morning, Rafi. Rafi grins at me, then makes his way over to the fridge. What are we cooking today? Artemis joins him in front of the fridge, inspecting the available ingredients. I take that as my cue to excuse myself, not wanting to get in their way. I return to the living room and sit on the couch. Seems like Ollie is a late sleeper. I wonder if he's up yet. I get Ollie's number from our group chat and send him a text. Hey, you up? After a few minutes, I get a response. Barely. Why? Want to hang out for a bit, if you aren't too sleepy? His response comes instantly. Oh yeah, come upstairs. Ollie answers the door on the second knock, still rubbing sleep from his eyes. Morning. Morning, Ollie. Hope I didn't wake you up. Nah. He lets out a huge, toothy yawn. You're good. Come on in. The room looks pretty much the same as yesterday, with the notable exception of the finished desktop setup, pulsing with an assortment of colors. Looks like you got everything set up. Looking good. Yeah. He yawns again, nodding. Let me boot it up for you. Ollie's desktop background, at least the parts that is visible beneath the clutter of files and folders, looks like some sort of painting. A lone knight kneeling at the foot of a grave, bearing a gilded shield inlaid with 7 glittering gemstones. My view is quickly obstructed as the dyno begins pulling up windows, filling each monitor in a matter of moments. Wait, sorry, but could I get a better look at your desktop background? Oh, of course! Ollie's gentle blue eyes light up in excitement. He fiddles with the center monitor and pulls it up unobstructed. Aw, cuties. Do you recognize it? Sorry, no. It just looked interesting. Oh, that's okay. His excitement barely wavers. Seems as if he's just as happy to explain it. It's from an RPG called Tales of Wheel and Woe. One of my all-time favorites. This is a really pivotal scene that happens towards the end, once you've gathered all 7 crystals. I won't spoil what happens, but it's a pretty famous twist.
The game is known for its fantastic storytelling, which is why it's one of my favorite. I'm a sucker for story-heavy RPGs. Anything I can really lose myself in.
Huh. I've actually never heard of it. What's the plot about? Vaguely, I mean.
I'm not sure how much I can describe without spoiling anything. Its presentation is really masterful, so just hearing about it won't do it justice. The basic setup is simple, though. You play a hero sent on a quest to collect 7 magic crystals in order to restore sunlight to a cursed kingdom. It's what they do with such a well-trod premise that makes it a masterpiece, though. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me think seriously about life, while also helping me take life less seriously. And that has one of the most explicit, rewarding skill trees I've ever seen. To be honest, I'd play it just for...
that voice.
To be honest, I'd play it just for that.
Wow. With such high praise, I'm surprised I haven't heard of it before. Ollie shrugs.
It's fairly text heavy, requires a lot of investment to really get into. Not everyone's cup of tea. The story, though, it's just so perfect. God, I really want to talk about it, but...
Spoilers.
Spoilers. What else can we talk about? Are there any games you've been into recently?
Well, I'm actually into story-heavy games myself.
Yeah, what kind of stories do you like best, FaZe?
Alrighty, everybody. Before we make this choice, I think this is where we are going to stop for the day. My voice is actually giving out, and I do not want to destroy or injure it. So, we are going to stop right there. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, here in about an hour, we'll have the question of the day. Yeah, but other than that, I look forward to seeing you on Friday when we will continue Storytime with FaZe. We'll continue playing through this visual novel, Promises to Keep. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.